The Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
Well, it was maybe a skosh warmer today than it has been the last few days, but it's not warm enough to stop the snow from falling. We are tracking some snow showers tonight. We'll get you a first check on the forecast in just a bit. But we turn now to breaking news in New Haven, where a fire heavily damaged a home this afternoon. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. We want to take you straight out to the scene there on Pierpont Street. That's where we find Fox 61 Stephen Reels. So, Stephen, we heard that you talked with a man who lives on the second floor. What did he tell you?
It's really just an unfortunate time. We're going to hear from Marcos Lopez, who lived on the second floor of that red home you see behind me. But things are starting to wind down a little bit. You can see the fire crews are leaving. They're wrapping up the hoses. But I want to step out of the way because you can see it right there. There's still some lights on one of the homes because the investigation into what started the fire and what exactly happened is underway. The New Haven Fire Department confirmed that to me, that they still don't have a lot of answers that they can give us right now. So that's what we're going to be looking forward to for the rest of the night. But like you said, that man I spoke with earlier, Marcos Lopez, he told me he was at the home when the fire first started. His kids, most of them actually, were at school along with his wife. But he noticed the fire, he grabbed his baby and got out. But as you're about to hear in a second, there's not much more that they can go back to.
Everything's in there. Everything, the baby stuff, my stuff. I have a lot of stuff, like computer, cameras.
And it's been really an all hands on deck kind of situation. We've seen New Haven Fire Department, we've seen the police department, we've seen the Office of Emergency Services, and we've seen the American Red Cross out here trying to help the families, including the Lopez's, try to come up with some plan for themselves and their families as they try to find a place to spend the night. Of course, we'll keep you updated on air and online as we learn more about what happened here in New Haven. Live in New Haven, Stephen Reels, Fox 61.
All right, Stephen, thank you. Now to our top story tonight. What started as a call for a vehicle crash in downtown New Haven quickly spilled into a local courthouse. Police say ICE arrested an individual inside the building. And
now questions are being raised about if the arrest was in violation of a law passed in our state just a few months ago. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules heard from the city's mayor, who says the arrest should never have happened.
New Haven police say the person ICE was looking for got out of their car and ran into the courthouse where the arrest was made. It started with a report of a car accident in the area of Church and Elm Street just before 9 o'clock in the morning. New Haven police say when the person ICE was looking for got out of their car, they didn't put it in park. The car then rolled into another car with someone inside. New Haven Mayor Justin Elliker says the person ran into this courthouse and was followed and arrested by an ICE agent. Mayor Elliker says this arrest goes against a state statute passed late last year.
ICE officers, per state statute, are not allowed to be arresting people inside of a courthouse.
According to state legislation passed in November, ICE agents need a judicial warrant to make arrests in a courthouse instead of a civil detainer. A judicial warrant is a court order signed by a judge or magistrate that authorizes a search, seizure, or arrest based on probable cause that a crime has been committed. During a press conference in September, Governor Ned Lamont addressed arrests like this, saying everyone needs to feel comfortable around a courthouse.
It's very important that immigrants, and even undocumented immigrants, feel safe going into our courthouses.
Mayor Elliker says this arrest raises a lot of safety concerns.
ICE pursued this individual inside, apparently went past the metal detector, and this individual presumably did the same thing.
He says he's also concerned about the judicial staff's training.
It raises some questions about whether the judicial marshals that are in the courthouse have received proper training about the new state statute and what to do in these circumstances to keep people, including themselves, safe.
Mayor Elliker believes ICE making arrests like this create a dangerous environment for the community.
If we create an environment where people are afraid to go to the courthouse because they're afraid that ICE is going to arrest them, that is not a great thing for the overall safety of our society.
We still don't know if the person arrested just happened to be near the courthouse or had a court date scheduled. Police say no injuries were reported. In New Haven, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Let's get right over to the weather department. The frigid temperatures are on a brief hiatus just for now, though, because once the weekend rolls around, we'll be back to it. and even colder.
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank here now with the first check of the forecast. Rachel, we've been talking about this for a few days now. Let me see if I have it straight.
Okay.
The air moving in will be the coldest of the season so far. Now we're looking at maybe a half a foot of snow or more. I'm not sure I'm ready.
No, you're good. You've passed. You've passed the test. Good job with the Cliff Notes version. And we've got some snow showers out now just to kind of kickstart things. This is actually associated with a warmer push of air. So we've got some snow showers right now in northern Connecticut and also western Connecticut too. And this could be enough to drop a quick coating and maybe even up to an inch of snow for some areas. So just a heads up, this could make roads slippery. We're seeing some snow up by the Notch in Granby and also in Heartland too. And this might kind of blossom a little bit and may even transition over to some rain showers towards the shoreline where temperatures are currently above freezing and rising. Actually, it looks like the numbers are up a couple of degrees just in the last hour or so. Again, because this is from a warm front, and you'll see over the next 12 hours, those numbers continue to rise. As we head towards daybreak, we're dry. And here's that brief break in the action from the cold, from the snow. Enjoy Thursday. We love Thursday because it starts to trend colder on Friday. And then it gets very cold, aggressively so, for Saturday morning with wind chills that will be up to 10 to 20 degrees below zero. We also have a rising likelihood for that half a foot of snow. We'll talk about that for Sunday coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. The boil water advisory in Stonington has been lifted now. Crews wrapped up repairs to a broken water main last night around 7:30, but leaders kept the boil water advisory in place while they tested the water. And earlier today, Stonington officials said that those tests took place. They didn't find any bacteria, so now the water is, in fact, safe to drink.
The man who pleaded guilty to a deadly boat crash excuse me, in 2022 was sentenced today. Carrie Sheltra was sentenced to 3 years in prison with the possibility of release after 90 days, followed by 3 years probation. In July of 2022, Sheltra lost control of a boat in the Connecticut River in Portland. He then crashed into the rocks along the shore. He told police he had 3 drinks that day. Police say 7 people, including 2 children, were hurt. 60-year-old Wayne Hamler from Waterford died. And a Hartford man was sentenced to 65 years in prison today. Benjamin White's convicted of shooting and killing Simon Griffin and hurting another person in August of 2022. Police say White and Griffin got into an argument while they were drinking and smoking on Laurel Street. Investigators say White left the room and then came back with a firearm. It's reported he ordered Griffin and another man to sit on the floor. That's when police say he shot both of them. Griffin died from 2 gunshot wounds to the head.
A new here at 6, take a look at some photos we got about an hour ago. 5 vehicles crashed this morning on I-95 in Branford, including a triaxle dump truck loaded with salt and a flatbed tow truck. It happened just before 11 between exits 55 and 56. 3 people were hospitalized with minor injuries. Firefighters had to pull 1 person out because the vehicle they were in could have rolled over. The road is back open tonight.
Also new here at 6, OSHA has proposed a Norwich heating contractor pay nearly $300,000 after a worker died in a trench collapse in June. Diamond Plumbing and Heating was doing business at a home on June 13th when a trench collapsed. Police say 6-year-old Michael Jaroko fell 90 feet and was found partially buried. He died from his injuries. OSHA's inspection report cited 5 violations against Diamond related to lack of cave-in protection and no safe exit from that trench. Diamond has 15 working days to either accept the citation and pay or challenge it.
Well, today, firefighters from multiple cities got called to Derby, where you can take a look for yourself. Flames shot into the sky, burning a storage building on Factory Street. Fox 61's Celine Arif spent the day on the scene and shares what firefighters say happened.
Firefighters I spoke with say the number one thing that made their jobs tricky is this, all the snow and ice that slows you down here when you're trying to move quickly. The fire call came in at around 8:50 in the morning, and with so much smoke in the sky, some people in the area called in their concerns about the fire spreading. But Assistant Fire Chief Jesse Marino says this was the only building that burned.
It's owned by Beretta's, and it's they're a landscaping company. It's just a storage building. And in the summertime, they sell like mulch products, stuff like that for your yard out of here.
Thankfully, nobody was inside the building when the fire started, which was put out in less than an hour once first responders got to the scene.
I'm going to say within about 20 minutes, we had good control of it, completely knocked down. Where we didn't have any visible fire was about 45. I'd say.
The fire stayed in the building on the right, which Marino says is basically a total loss, with 75% of it being damaged. Once the flames were put out, they had to talk with the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection about any potential chemicals in the building that could turn into a bigger risk than the fire.
They don't seem overly concerned about it, just more precautionary things at this point, but they don't seem that there's no water runoff that was contaminated, nothing along those lines.
Derby's fire department is run by volunteers, which Fire Chief Thomas Biggs says means just about everybody, including themselves, were at work in the morning when the call came in. They're thankful for the other stations like Shelton, Ansonia, Orange, and Seymour stepping up to help them with the fire and cover their calls on busy days like this.
The more people we can have, the better, the easier it makes on everybody too. You know, we had a huge pond back here of water from all the water we were flowing, so it just creates another hazard we have to deal with on top of fighting the fire and everything like that.
We're still waiting to learn what caused the fire. The fire marshal's office has started their investigation. In Derby, Celine Air, Fox 61.
All right, Solene, thank you. And take a look here. This pickup truck caught fire this morning in Beacon Falls. State police say nobody was hurt. It happened in front of Gabe's Automotive on North Main Street. Beacon Host firefighters say they were able to put it out quickly, and it's unclear right now what caused that fire.